Have you ever paused to truly consider whether your destiny is predetermined, a fixed path laid out before you, or if it's something you actively shape with every decision you make? This profound question has captivated thinkers for centuries, and it's one that the legendary philosopher of business and life, Jim Rohn, addressed with remarkable clarity. He famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." This statement, deceptively simple at first glance, contains a powerful truth that, once understood, can fundamentally transform your life. It suggests that our relationships don't just influence our daily moods or provide a casual social outlet. They are, in fact, the very forge upon which our future, our success, our happiness, and indeed, our destiny, are hammered out. In this video, we are going to embark on an insightful journey, delving deep into Jim Rohn's potent philosophy. Change your relationships, and you will change your destiny. This isn't merely a piece of conventional self-help advice. It's a strategic blueprint for constructing a life of enduring fulfillment, meaning, and achievement. We'll explore why the deliberate choice of our inner circle holds such immense power, and precisely how you can proactively cultivate a social environment that propels you towards the brightest future imaginable. Get ready to rethink everything you thought you knew about the company you keep and its unparalleled impact on who you become. The social environment we choose to immerse ourselves in possesses an almost immeasurable power. Imagine a seed, brimming with potential. To flourish and bear fruit, it requires rich, fertile soil, ample sunlight, and nurturing water. Place that same seed in barren, rocky ground, and its magnificent potential will likely remain untapped, its growth stunted. Human beings are no different. We, too, require a supportive, nourishing environment to unlock our full capabilities and realize our innate potential. The people who surround us act as the soil, the sun, and the water for our personal growth. They either provide the nutrients for our thriving or drain the very essence of our ambition. Consider for a moment the profound implications of this idea. If you consistently spend your precious time with individuals who are perpetually complaining, mired in pessimism, and adrift without clear goals or aspirations, what do you think the inevitable outcome will be? It's highly probable that, over time, their prevailing attitudes will begin to seep into your own consciousness. Their limited perspectives and negative frameworks will subtly infiltrate your thinking, gradually diminishing your energy, eroding your enthusiasm, and severely limiting your vision for what's possible in your own life. It's a slow, almost imperceptible erosion of spirit, where their mediocrity can become your default. Conversely, imagine a different scenario. What if your inner circle consists of individuals who radiate positivity, who are relentlessly ambitious, who are committed to continuous learning, and who are constantly seeking out new opportunities for growth and contribution? In such an environment, you would find yourself perpetually inspired to reach higher, to learn new skills, to challenge your own assumptions, and to confront obstacles with an unwavering sense of optimism and resilience. Their passion becomes contagious, their drive fuels your own, and their successes serve as powerful motivators, demonstrating what can be achieved with persistence and a positive mindset. The energy they exude becomes a vital source of fuel for your own aspirations. Your relationships don't just affect your mood, they actively shape your habits, solidify your core beliefs, and even dictate your income levels. Think about it. The conversations you have, the ideas you discuss, the problems you collectively solve, and even the casual banter, all contribute to the tapestry of your daily reality. If your friends constantly discuss investment strategies, personal development books, or innovative business ideas, you're naturally exposed to these concepts, encouraging you to think similarly and adopt similar habits. If, however, your circle frequently engages in gossip, critical judgment of others, or escapist activities that offer no personal growth, those patterns become normalized, and you might find yourself inadvertently mirroring them. This is the subtle, yet powerful, process through which our social circle crafts our very identity and trajectory. Jim Rohn didn't mince words when he declared that we cannot soar with eagles if we insist on playing with chickens. This isn't a judgment on chickens or a statement of superiority. It's a powerful metaphor about aligning your environment with your aspirations. Eagles represent ambition, vision, and the ability to reach great heights. Chickens, while perfectly fine in their own domain, are grounded, focused on immediate needs, and lack the soaring perspective. If your ambition is to fly, to achieve extraordinary things, then you need to surround yourself with those who understand flight, who encourage it, and who are themselves reaching for the sky. You need to be in an environment where flying is the norm, not an exception or an impossible dream. To truly transform your life, to elevate your circumstances, and to manifest the destiny you envision, You must begin by strategically choosing the individuals whom you allow to exert the most profound influence over you. This choice is not selfish. It is an act of profound self-care and a commitment to your highest potential. It is the first, most crucial step in seizing control of your narrative. What we are discussing here is not about abandoning those you care about, but rather about consciously curating the influences that shape your core self. It is about understanding that your environment is not just external. It gradually becomes internal, forming the very fabric of your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. This video is designed to empower you with the clarity and actionable strategies needed to evaluate your current relationships and proactively build a network that uplifts, inspires, and propels you toward your grandest visions. We will explore the distinct categories of people that Ron encouraged us to examine closely, and provide practical steps for optimizing your social circle for unparalleled personal and professional growth. This journey towards a re-sculpted destiny begins now, with the insightful recognition that the company you keep is not just an accessory to your life, but a fundamental determinant of its ultimate direction and success. This profound understanding urges us to meticulously examine the composition of our inner circle, for within it lie the seeds of our future triumphs or tribulations. Jim Rohn, with his unparalleled wisdom, didn't just tell us to change our relationships. He provided a framework for understanding what kinds of relationships truly matter and how to cultivate those that serve our highest aspirations. He encouraged us to classify the people in our lives into distinct categories, not to judge them, but to empower ourselves in making conscious choices about our time and energy. First, and perhaps most crucially, Ron spoke of the uplifters, or the inspirers. These are the rare gems in your social landscape, individuals who genuinely believe in your potential, even when you might doubt it yourself. They are your mentors, those positive friends who celebrate your small victories and offer a steady hand during your greatest challenges, and like-minded business partners who share your vision and drive. Imagine spending time with someone who, with every conversation, ignites a new spark within you, encouraging you to dream bigger, to set audacious goals, and to bravely step outside your comfort zone. These individuals don't just offer advice, they embody the very qualities you aspire to possess. They challenge your limiting beliefs, not through criticism, but through their unwavering support and their own example of relentless pursuit of excellence. They often possess a wealth of knowledge and experience, generously sharing insights that can save you years of trial and error. When faced with obstacles, they help you reframe problems as opportunities, transforming setbacks into stepping stones. Investing your precious time and emotional energy into these relationships is not merely a social activity. It is a strategic investment in your personal growth, your career trajectory, and ultimately, your overall well-being. These are the people who lift your spirit, broaden your perspective, and continuously remind you of the extraordinary person you are capable of becoming. Their influence acts as a tailwind, propelling you forward even when the journey feels arduous. They are the human equivalent of fertile soil for your ambitions. Conversely, Jim Rohn warned us about the subtle yet insidious danger of the pull-downers, or the negative influences. These are the individuals who, consciously or unconsciously, drain your energy, erode your self-confidence, and stifle your ambitions. They are often characterized by a persistent pattern of complaining, criticism, and a general lack of motivation. Their conversations are frequently steeped in pessimism, focusing on what's wrong, what's impossible, and why things won't work out. You might hear phrases like, "You can't do that," "Be realistic," or "What makes you think you're different?" This isn't about malicious intent in every case. Sometimes, it stems from their own unaddressed fears or past failures projected onto you. However, regardless of the root cause, their presence can be detrimental. Their constant negativity can seep into your subconscious, planting seeds of doubt and fear. It can make you question your own capabilities, dim your enthusiasm, and ultimately deter you from pursuing your goals. They are the heavy anchors in the harbor of your life, making it difficult for your ship to set sail. While it might feel harsh to consider limiting contact with such individuals, Ron's philosophy isn't about abandoning people. It's about protecting your own mental and emotional landscape. It's about recognizing that you cannot fully blossom when constantly surrounded by thorns. Establishing clear boundaries, learning to politely disengage from negative conversations, or simply reducing the frequency and duration of your interactions can be crucial steps in safeguarding your aspirations and maintaining your positive momentum. Your destiny is too important to allow it to be derailed by the gravitational pull of others' negativity. Finally, Ron identified a third category, the average, or the neutral individuals. These are often people we feel comfortable with, familiar faces from our past, casual acquaintances, or even family members who don't necessarily inspire us to greatness but also don't actively pull us down. They exist in the vast middle ground, neither overtly positive nor overtly negative. The danger here lies not in their malice, but in their mediocrity, in the comfortable rut they might inadvertently keep you in. Spending an excessive amount of time with those who are content with the status quo, who lack ambition, or who shy away from growth can lead to a subtle yet significant stagnation in your own life. You might find yourself settling for less, becoming complacent, or losing your edge because there's no external push or challenge. It's easy to fall into the trap of comfort and familiarity, but Ron reminds us that true growth often happens outside of this zone. While these relationships can offer stability and a sense of belonging, they may not foster the kind of dynamic growth necessary to reshape your destiny. To truly soar, you must be willing to occasionally step away from the flock and seek out the eagles. Evaluating these relationships means asking, are they actively contributing to my growth, or am I passively allowing them to dictate my pace? Understanding these distinctions is merely the first step. The true power lies in actively reshaping your relationship landscape. Jim Rohn wasn't just a philosopher, he was a pragmatist, offering actionable advice. The initial, crucial step is an honest, often uncomfortable, self-assessment of your current social circle. Take a moment to genuinely reflect. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with, both professionally and personally? How do they influence you across various facets of your life? Emotionally, financially, intellectually, and in terms of your personal goals and aspirations? Are they fueling your dreams or inadvertently stifling them? This isn't about judgment, it's about objective analysis. Be courageous enough to acknowledge the truth of these influences. Once you've gained this clarity, the next phase involves making strategic, proactive decisions. Begin by actively seeking out and intentionally investing your time and energy into those positive, uplifting relationships. This might involve stepping outside your current routines. Consider enrolling in a workshop or a course related to a passion you want to develop, joining a professional networking group, or participating in a community club that aligns with your values and aspirations. These environments are fertile grounds for meeting like-minded individuals who share your drive for growth and success. Don't be afraid to connect with successful people whom you admire, whether through social media, industry events, or informational interviews. Many accomplished individuals are surprisingly open to sharing their journey and insights with those who genuinely seek to learn and grow. Be bold, share your goals, and actively seek their advice and mentorship. Remember, you are seeking individuals who will not just listen, but who will challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable to your highest potential. Simultaneously, you must become adept at wisely managing your exposure to the pull-downers and those who contribute to mediocrity. This doesn't necessarily mean severing all ties, especially with family or long-standing friends. Instead, it's about establishing intelligent boundaries and consciously controlling the narrative. When a negative conversation arises, you can politely change the topic, express a different perspective, or simply limit your engagement. You can decline invitations to activities that consistently leave you feeling drained or uninspired. It's about prioritizing your well-being and growth, understanding that your time and energy are finite resources that must be allocated strategically. You have the power to curate your emotional environment, choosing not to absorb or internalize the negativity around you. This conscious filtering protects your mental space and allows you to maintain focus on your objectives. Crucially, Jim Rohn also emphasized that to attract the right relationships, you must first become the right person. This is perhaps the most empowering aspect of his philosophy. It means dedicating yourself to continuous self-development, always learning new skills, expanding your knowledge, and refining your character. Be the person who brings value to others, who offers encouragement, who shares insights, and who is genuinely interested in the success and well-being of those around them. When you consistently strive to be your best self, when you radiate positivity, ambition, and a willingness to help, you naturally become a magnet for others who operate on the same frequency. You will organically attract individuals who are also committed to growth, who are positive, and who are eager to engage in meaningful, uplifting relationships. This journey of self-improvement is not just about personal gain. It's about creating a ripple effect, transforming yourself into the kind of person who not only seeks out but also attracts a destiny-shaping network. The profound truth Jim Rohn articulated is that your destiny is not a predetermined, unchangeable script. Instead, it is a dynamic narrative, constantly being written and rewritten by the choices you make every single day. And among the most powerful of these choices are the people you choose to allow into your inner circle, those who shape your thoughts, influence your actions, and ultimately determine your trajectory. The power to transform your life, to steer your destiny in a direction of success, fulfillment, and happiness, rests squarely in your hands. It begins with the deliberate and mindful selection of your closest associations. Don't passively allow circumstances or comfortable habits to dictate who influences you. Instead, take proactive ownership. Last time, we touched upon the critical idea that your destiny isn't a fixed fate, but a dynamic outcome shaped by your choices, especially concerning the people you allow into your inner circle. We talked about moving beyond passive acceptance and truly taking proactive ownership of who influences you. This isn't about being selfish or isolating yourself. It's about being strategically intelligent with your most precious resources, your time, your energy, and your mindset. Jim Rohn's profound statement, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," sounds deceptively simple. Yet, it encapsulates a monumental truth about human psychology, social dynamics, and ultimately, the trajectory of your entire life. To truly grasp the power of this philosophy, we need to delve deeper into how this averaging actually occurs. It's far more subtle and pervasive than mere direct advice or explicit conversations. Our minds are incredibly porous, constantly absorbing and reflecting the environment around us. We unconsciously adopt the language patterns, the emotional states, the belief systems, and even the daily habits of those closest to us. Consider your vocabulary. Do you notice yourself picking up new phrases or expressions from a close friend? What about their general outlook on life? Are they optimists who see opportunities, or pessimists who spot obstacles? This subtle mirroring extends to everything: your work ethic, your financial attitudes, your health choices, and even your self-perception. If your inner circle constantly discusses possibilities, innovation, and learning, you will naturally begin to think in those terms. Conversely, if the prevailing conversation is about complaining, limitations, and fear, that narrative can subtly seep into your subconscious, influencing your own outlook and perceived potential. Jim Rohn wasn't just observing a trend. He was articulating a fundamental principle of personal growth and achievement. Our social environment acts like fertile ground for a tree. If you plant a sapling in rich, nutrient-dense soil, it has the best chance to flourish, grow strong roots, and reach for the sun. But if that same sapling is placed in barren, rocky terrain, its growth will be stunted, if it survives at all. Similarly, for us to unlock our full potential, to truly thrive, we need a supportive and stimulating environment. The people around us are the nutrients, the sunlight, or sometimes, the weeds that choke our growth. They can either fuel our aspirations and expand our vision, or they can drain our energy and limit our possibilities. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about the tangible outcomes in your life, from your income to your relationships, your health, and your overall happiness. Within this framework, Jim Rohn essentially categorizes the people in our lives into 3 distinct groups, each with a unique impact on our journey. Understanding these categories is the first step towards consciously curating your environment. The first group comprises the uplifters and inspirers. These are the mentors, the positive friends, the like-minded business partners, or simply individuals you deeply admire and learn from. They are the ones who challenge you to dream bigger, push past your comfort zones, and see the positive even amidst adversity. They generously share their knowledge, wisdom, and resources, acting as a sturdy emotional anchor when storms hit. Investing your time and energy into these relationships is an investment in your own future. They don't just motivate you, they equip you with tools, perspectives, and belief systems that propel you forward. They celebrate your successes as their own and gently guide you through failures, always reinforcing your capacity for greatness. Their presence alone can elevate your energy and sharpen your focus on what's truly possible. On the opposite end of the spectrum are the pullers down and negative influences. These individuals are often characterized by constant complaining, criticism, lack of ambition, and a tendency to undermine your efforts with statements like, "You can't do that," or "Be realistic." Their influence is like a slow leak, subtly draining your energy, eroding your confidence, and stifling your progress. This isn't always malicious. Sometimes it stems from their own unfulfilled potential or fear. However, the impact remains the same. Jim Rohn famously advised against trying to fly with eagles if you insist on playing with chickens. The crab mentality, where if one crab tries to escape a bucket, the others pull it back down, perfectly illustrates the insidious nature of these relationships. They may subtly plant seeds of doubt, scoff at your ambitions, or dismiss your dreams as unrealistic. While cutting ties completely might not always be feasible or necessary, Consciously limiting exposure and establishing clear boundaries is crucial for protecting your mental and emotional space and safeguarding your goals. Their negativity isn't just a mood. It's a poison that can infect your aspirations. Finally, we have the vast middle ground, the average or stagnant individuals. These are people who aren't necessarily negative, but they also don't actively uplift or challenge you. They might be comfortable acquaintances, long-standing friends who are content with the status quo, or colleagues who just punch the clock. While there's nothing inherently wrong with these relationships, spending too much time here can lead to stagnation. If your inner circle is satisfied with mediocrity, you risk becoming complacent yourself, settling for good enough rather than striving for great. They don't inspire you to break new ground, learn new skills, or take calculated risks. The danger lies in the comfort zone they represent, which, while safe, is where growth often comes to a halt. Jim Rohn understood that if you want to elevate your life, you cannot remain content in an environment that merely maintains the current level. To change your destiny, you must begin to change the principal influences in your life, moving beyond the comfort of the average and actively seeking out those who will push you towards exceptional. Jim Rohn understood that if you want to elevate your life, you cannot remain content in an environment that merely maintains the current level. To change your destiny, you must begin to change the principal influences in your life, moving beyond the comfort of the average and actively seeking out those who will push you towards exceptional. This profound insight isn't just about fleeting interactions. It's about the very fabric of your daily existence, the constant, subtle, and often subconscious influences that mold your thoughts, habits, and ultimately, your direction in life. Think of it this way: a tree needs fertile soil, abundant water, and proper sunlight to flourish and bear fruit. If it's planted in barren ground, constantly overshadowed, or starved of nutrients, its growth will be stunted, its potential unrealized. Human beings are no different. We thrive, grow, and reach our full potential when immersed in an environment that nurtures us, challenges us positively, and feeds our ambition. Consider the stark contrast. If you consistently spend your precious time with individuals who are perpetually complaining, consumed by pessimism, or drifting aimlessly without goals, their mindset, their very energy, will inevitably seep into your own consciousness. Their limiting beliefs will subtly erode your motivation, dim your enthusiasm, and constrain your vision, making it harder for you to even conceive of a brighter future, let alone pursue one. Conversely, imagine surrounding yourself with people who radiate positivity, who are relentlessly ambitious, who possess an insatiable hunger for learning, and who are always on the lookout for new opportunities. In such an environment, you become infected with inspiration. Their drive becomes your drive, their pursuit of knowledge fuels your own, and you find yourself facing challenges with an entirely new spirit of optimism and resilience. Jim Rohn was unequivocal. Your relationships profoundly shape your habits, solidify your beliefs, and even dictate the trajectory of your income. His powerful analogy of not being able to soar with eagles if you insist on playing with chickens perfectly encapsulates this truth. To truly transform your life, you must make a conscious, deliberate choice to transform the very people you allow to exert the most significant influence over you. This isn't about being exclusive or arrogant. It's about being strategic and discerning for the sake of your own growth and fulfillment. Within this vital circle of influence, Jim Rohn shrewdly identified 3 distinct categories of people that we should all meticulously evaluate. The first group comprises the uplifters, the inspirers, the true champions of your potential. These are your trusted mentors, your genuinely positive friends, like-minded business partners, or simply individuals you deeply admire and from whom you consistently learn invaluable lessons. They are the ones who don't just encourage you to dream big, but actively challenge you to stretch beyond your perceived limits, urging you to try new things and helping you spot the silver lining in every cloudy situation. More than just cheerleaders, they generously share their knowledge, impart their hard-won experience, and stand as an unshakable emotional anchor when you encounter inevitable setbacks. Investing your time and energy into cultivating and nurturing these relationships is not merely a social activity. It is, without a doubt, one of the most crucial investments you can make in your own future success and well-being. These individuals act as catalysts, propelling you forward and ensuring you stay on track towards your highest aspirations. Then, there are the pullers down, the negative forces that can unconsciously sabotage your progress. These are the chronic complainers, the incessant critics, those who seem utterly devoid of motivation, and who might actively try to drag you down with disheartening phrases like, "You can't do that," or "Be realistic." Their presence can be incredibly draining, siphoning away your precious energy, slowly but surely eroding your self-confidence, and erecting invisible barriers to your personal and professional development. They often project their own fears and limitations onto you, hindering your ability to even imagine a better path. While completely severing ties might not always be feasible or even necessary in every instance, it is absolutely essential to strategically limit your exposure to such negativity and, more importantly, to establish clear, firm boundaries. This protective measure is vital for safeguarding your mental well-being, preserving your focus, and protecting the integrity of your goals from external pessimism. You must be the gatekeeper of your own mind. Finally, Ron spoke of the average, those who are neither overwhelmingly positive nor overtly negative. These are often familiar acquaintances, comfortable to be around, but who fundamentally neither push you forward nor contribute significant added value to your life. The danger here is subtle but potent. Spending an excessive amount of time with these individuals can lead to a dangerous state of stagnation. You might find yourself becoming complacent, perfectly content with the status quo, and inadvertently losing the drive to break free from mediocrity and strive for something greater. They represent the gravitational pull of the comfortable, making it all too easy to settle when you should be soaring. To evolve, to truly change your destiny, you must move beyond the comfortable and actively seek out environments that foster dynamic growth. So, how do we actively, purposefully, and strategically begin to change our relationships and, by extension, our destiny? The very first and most crucial step involves a deeply honest and unflinching assessment of your current inner circle. Take a moment to genuinely reflect. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with, consistently? And, perhaps more importantly, how do they authentically influence you across various dimensions? Emotionally, financially, spiritually, and in terms of your personal and professional goals. This isn't a superficial exercise. It demands introspection, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront potentially uncomfortable truths about the nature of your current social landscape. This self-assessment serves as your foundational map, revealing the areas where strategic adjustments are most urgently needed. Once you've gained clarity from this assessment, you can begin to make strategic decisions that align with your desired future. Actively seek out and proactively invest your precious time and energy in cultivating more positive, uplifting relationships. This might involve enrolling in courses or workshops relevant to your interests, joining clubs or community groups where you can connect with individuals who share your passions and vision, or participating in networking events, both online and in person. Don't shy away from being bold. Dare to connect with successful individuals whom you admire, whether it's through a thoughtful message on a professional platform or a direct conversation at an industry event. Be open about your aspirations and humbly seek their invaluable advice and insights. Remember, most successful people are often flattered and willing to share their wisdom with those who are genuinely curious and committed to growth. Concurrently, it's equally important to wisely and assertively control the degree of your exposure to those pullers down we discussed. This doesn't necessitate confrontation or dramatic severing of ties, which can sometimes be counterproductive. Instead, it's about making conscious choices, gracefully declining invitations to activities that you know will be steeped in negativity, subtly yet firmly redirecting conversations away from complaints and towards solutions or positive topics, or simply allocating less of your valuable time to these draining interactions. It's an act of self-preservation, a silent but powerful declaration that you are prioritizing your own mental and emotional well-being over passive acceptance of damaging influences. This measured approach allows you to protect your energy without unnecessary conflict. Finally, and this is a point Jim Rohn emphasized with profound wisdom, remember that to attract truly great relationships, you must first commit to becoming a truly great, valuable person yourself. This means making a relentless effort to continuously develop yourself, to become a lifelong learner, and to always be willing to generously help and support others without expectation of immediate return. When you embody qualities like integrity, curiosity, resilience, and a genuine desire to contribute positively to the world, you naturally become a magnet for individuals who operate on a similar frequency, who share your drive to uplift and evolve. You attract what you are. When you cultivate your own inner garden with care and dedication, you will find that valuable, inspiring individuals are naturally drawn to its richness, seeking to connect and grow alongside you. It's a reciprocal universe, and by enhancing your own value, you inevitably enhance the quality of your entire social ecosystem, ensuring that your destiny is shaped by the best influences available.